Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss one of the important SQL question if you are preparing for the data analysis or data engineering interview. So this question may came to you. The question is, what are the temp tables in SQL and what is the purpose or how it helps developer to improve the performance of queries. So basically, if you are dealing with a large data sets and you are performing the filtering, then you are performing the groupings or aggregations in the same query. So that may take a large amount of time. So instead of that, what we can do is we can split our query. First of all, what we will do, we will only group the data and we will store that data into the single temp table. And from that temp table we will query the data to filter. So what this will does is, instead of performing the aggregations and filterings at the same time, so this what it will does, it will go and scan for each filter. Every time it will go and scan the entire table, so this takes large amount of time. To avoid this, we first group the data, meaning we will not have the duplicate data. We will have the uh, we can say the unique records, right? So scanning will not happen again and again for the filtering data. So in this way we can avoid the query query execution time, or we can reduce the query execution time. So now question is, what is the temp table, how we can create, and what we can do with that, how long it will be available to the developers. So that's what we have to discuss here. So temporary tables are useful for storing the intermediate. The way I said, if you are doing lots of operations in a single table and if that is going to consume a lots of time, so you can avoid that by splitting your query. You can store the result into the temp table, and from that temp table you can perform the next operation. So this will definitely save your time. If you have a large data set, you can go and try this and see the execution time of both the queries. So temp tables are helpful for improving the performance of complex queries, and they exist only during the session or the transaction, and they are automatically deleted when the session ends. Now, what is the session? So when you make the connection with the database, till the time you get disconnected, that's the whatever the time you'll spend or your connection is live, that period is called session. So now how to create temp table? So here you can see the definition. So what I will do is I will go and I will say create table. The way we write or the way we create a table in a database, similarly we create a table. Okay, that is fine. So now I have to create a table which will be a temp table. So I will say this is my temp. Okay, and I have two columns, ID and name. Data types are already defined. If I create this, okay, temporary need not to mention now. So you can simply put hash notation, single hash before the table name. So database system will understood that you are trying to create a temp table. If I run this, this says the command gets executed successfully. It is fine, the database is created, sorry, table is created, but where it will get created? So whatever the database you will select here, temp tables are not created in that databases. So temp tables are always created in the temp DB of your database. So if you come to the tables here, again you will not be able to see the temp table names or objects. So you are supposed to use this SQL command meaning you should pull the name of temp db dot sys dot objects. So you are pulling them where the objects start with the hash. And now if I run this, you will be able to see that I have a temp table. Right here in this temp table, you can perform the insert, update, delete, indexing, lots of things. The way we deal with the normal table to improve the performance, you can do all these things with the temp table. Okay, and this table, whatever the temp table is created, will be available until you delete this or your session gets ended. Right. So I can go and I can simply delete this. Cannot drop the test because it does not exist or you do not have permission. Okay, whatever, it is fine. So you can use sorry, the problem is my table name is temp, not a test. So that's why. So I deleted this, right? So you will be able to drop this. If you want to create a temp table that could be accessed during the multiple sessions, multiple uh, peoples when create the sessions. So if you want to make that table to be available during that period for all the sessions, you can create a global temp. How to create a global temp? You can simply use the double hash. This will be your global temporary table, right? Same other things are pretty much fine. So if I go and create, and if I run, you will be able to see that the temp table is exist. Now I can go and I can drop this also. So dropping is dropping, creating, updating, all the things of kind of operations you can perform on the temp table also, the way you can perform. Then what is the difference between normal table and temporary table? Right. So feature persistent, meaning how long it is available. So permanently stored in the database. Normal table is always available, though your session gets ended. You may connect after 1 year, 2 year, that table will be remains there until someone has deleted that. But in case of temporary table, temporary tables exist only for the session or transaction. Then storage location. So normal tables are stored in the disk database files. Temp tables are stored in temp DB, but that is a temporary database. So scope available for all the users. Normal tables always available for all the users and sessions. However, the temporary tables are available within the sessions or connections. Access. So normal table can be accessed anytime. Temp tables automatically deleted when the session ends. So once the session ends, you will not be able to access the temp table. Again, you need to go and create the temp table. Indexing can have indexed primary key, foreign key. In temporary tables, you can have indexes, but no foreign keys. Usage. So in case of normal table used for the permanent data storage, that is again the temporary table is used for the temporary or intermediate data processing. Performance. Normal table can be optimized with indexing and partitions, and temp tables are faster for temporary data but takes memory in temp db. So this will consume your memory during the execution. Right. So this is the difference between normal and temp table. Now what is the difference between CTE and temporary table? So CTE only exist during the execution, query execution. Otherwise CTE will not be able. CTE again, it's like a temp table, but it will not store the data in the database. So the performance of the temp table is better for the large data set. For smaller data sets, CTE is always good. No need to create the temp tables. Reusability can be referenced multiple times. CTE cannot be referenced multiple times. I mean, it can be referenced, but it will be only exist within the same query. So temp tables can be used in different queries. Modification, if you ask, temp table can be indexed, updated, and modified. However, CTE cannot be updated directly. So this is all about the temp table in SQL. So I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning.